Life hacks are really important to know. Very important. See? Map R's run. That's a life hack. What's up guys, Edit67716 here, welcome back to my new video, and in this video I'm going to show you some life hacks that will revolutionize how you play Minecraft. If you don't know these life hacks, you can type down in the comments, and let's get right into the video. Here I've got a couple of life hacks here, which will really help the way you do things. Now, one thing you should always do when you have a very small potion stand, is you can make it a lot easier to brew your potions. If you at first put your potions in here, oops, I forgot the blaze powder. Alright, so what you can do to make brewing potions easier is you can have a hopper at the top. What you should do is dump the ingredients in the order you want the potions made. So for example, if I want a weakness potion for like curing zombie villagers, which is the fermented spider eye, then this gunpowder here, and this will all brew through and be processed. And that's been brewed through, and that was all automatic. You don't have to put the ingredients one by one. You can also do this for probably the longest potion you'd ever need, which would be a throwing potion of invisibility. And then that can all be brewed up one by one. And just about now, the potions are done. And so, yeah, the hob on top makes it much easier to do potions. Another thing you can do is to make it much easier to compost stuff. All you need to do is add a barrel to some hoppers, and you can dump them in. This is really easy to build. All you gotta do is, like, place a hopper here, place that on top. Remember to press shift while pressing. You always gotta press shift when you do this. And then that's how you make it. It's pretty easy. Another cool thing you can do now is, you see this one, map R as run. It's a lot better if you map R as your run key instead of left control, because it's a lot easier for your position to get to. And another thing you can do is when you press control right click, you can edit signs. And you can also do the same to the back of a sign, because this is 1.20.1 now. When it comes to like, when you want to build like a crater all the way down to like maybe deep slate or even bedrock layer, most people use a pit of TNT. But there's a much more easier way to do this that saves a lot of TNT. Now, TNT duplicators may look difficult, but they're actually pretty easy. All you gotta do is build an L shape like this, place a slime block here, put a detector rail here, a wool block here, a wool block, as in wool, not wool. That's hard to like decipher, but a wool block here, and then place a fan piece of coral here. Then you need to place the TNT underneath the fence wall. Then you need to place a lever next to a sticky piston. Then it's calibrated. So there's a TNT duplicator. It's a lot easier than you think it is. And once you get it a rough, deep stuff, you can kind of start to spam it without too much going on, hopefully. And if you want it to be insanely fast, you can always do the classic observer clock, like this. One of the easiest ways to get above bedrock is to find a place where you have at least 4 blocks of bedrock for the 5th block, and if you know that, you can come up here, right click the ender pearl, and you're above the nether. Now, if you want to break a piece of bedrock, you can place a piston above the piece you want to get broken, then place some deep slate here, a trapdoor here, dirt here. Then you need to surround this area of torches in this area. You need to place 2 buttons here, then 2 blocks in front of this torch, place a block of TNT and a button. And what you want to do is go into options, go into your controls and keybinds, and temporarily set this to a key such as Y, press done, and then what you can do is you can butt power this piston by pressing this button and this button. I used Y for that. Then you have the sticky piston in your hand, activate the TNT, set here while pressing Y, and if the piston is facing that way and it was destroyed, it means the block has been destroyed. If the piston is facing downward, I think that means a failure. When it's facing the way it was and it had been destroyed, that will break the bedrock. one of the best traps in the game can be made by placing a block here against the direction you want to blow up. Then the direction you want it to blow up, you place a powered rail. Then you can place this full of a bunch of TNT minecarts. You can place a button here. Now before I sell this off, there are things you can do with this that I'd like to show. It can go up hills with a track like this, and you can even make it go through water, or even you can make it go through an underground area. Like if I make a 1 block wide area, well, that failed. But let's try that again. I can make it go through here. And then if I press the button, this TNT can go on forever until it hits something. Pretty neat, huh? You can also do it underwater. So it's basically a torpedo. Unless it hits a fish, then it can blow up. Oh, it's gonna blow up any minute. There we go. Rip salmon! Calibrated sculk sensors, which have just been released, have a lot of really good uses, because you can limit the vibrations they can to any of these. So have any movement, landing on a block, item usage, elytra or unique mob action, dismounting a mob or equipping armor, mounting or interacting with a mob, player or mob damage, food or potion consumption, block deactivation, block state change, placing or destroying blocks that aren't wool, and even player teleport or death explosion. So I like number 7 because this can be used for emergency traps if you take damage or something, but bear in mind that you have to be near that, and mob damage will also count as this. Now what you can do with this is I've got this setup with wool completely surrounding this calibrated sculk sensor, so it will only detect damage right above it. So if I cover this up and place a zombie right on top of where it is, you can see the note block will get activated. Like so. But this can be used quite well. There's a little bit of leeway time. Probably has to be around these blocks. But this can be used to make all sorts of really cool traps. And you can always change what it gets activated by. So maybe you could make it activated by equipping armor, so to speak. An Enderporter is a really cool trap to have. What you need to do is come down 7 blocks, then at the 8th block place soul sand, then place water at the top. Then what you want to do is fill up everything with kelp, go back down and destroy the kelp, then become a bubble column. You can throw an ender pearl down there, and whenever this trapdoor is activated, you will spawn at the trapdoor. Now what I've actually done is I come to here, I'll set this to player or mob damage, and what I've done is I've got a redstone signal coming out of here. This one's on a 1-tick delay. Well, actually this should be a 2-tick delay. Then down 15 blocks, this will activate a redstone torch knot gate, which will trigger the trap at the enderport I just built. Now this is a good player or even a mob trap to have, but it will create a gigantic crater because I'm building one of these TNT minecart traps. This is also a good trap to have, a 2-block space with a powered rail with TNT minecarts on it, with either the powered rail or the block behind it powered by a redstone signal, and you can add almost an infinite number of these. So if I cover this whole thing up, I can activate it using a zombie or a creeper. So let's turn into survivor mode and summon a zombie, or Zoglin, that will do. And that Zoglin most likely is dead now. Yeah, I don't see a Zoglin anywhere. Yep, I don't see a Zoglin anywhere. If you need redstone lines that run parallel to each other, you can actually do this with traps of powered rail, and I think even, what's the other one? Activator rails can do it too, I think. Well, if I press these buttons, they all work, but you gotta take in mind that it will work rising edge and falling edge. Because that's the way that observers work. And here is with activator rails. Really cool. And this is why you can't do it with redstone, they always cross and there's no way to stop them crossing unless you like have one block higher than the other. And repeaters can be a bit slow because of the delay. And if you want these to be only powered once, you can use piston like this. So it's only powered once. And that's how you can use rails in redstone. Sometimes you want to get a very specific enchanted book. The easiest way to do that is to have at least 2 lecterns in your offhand and an axe in your on-hand. Then you keep destroying and replacing the lectern till he has a book you want. Also make sure the container he's in has a 3-block high wall, just in case he tries to jump out at the lectern. Here's one you want, and what you would want to do is get the emeralds needed to trade, and then once you have that trade locked in, it will be permanent. If you get the aim just right, you can use 1 weakness potion to cure 4 zombie villagers, which will save on potions immensely. And now they are all healed. A life hack when raiding the deep dark is to try to build a 17-block 2-tool pole that you can always run off to, and then you can use your bow to finish the Warden. And once you have that hole built, run back here. You can snipe the Warden from here or wait till it despawns, depending on how good your bow and everything is. The reason you want it to be at least 17 blocks long is because that will get you just out of reach of the Warden's sonic boom attack. Clever, huh? Another thing you can do to help you with Wardens is to build this device, which has 3 ladders and 4 ladders and 3 ladders. This one needs to have 2 blocks above the ladder. If it's more than that, the Warden might be able to get through, so it has to be 2 blocks. Then what you want is a piston here, with an observer clock here that can be toggled with a piston. And this can help get a Warden trapped if you get stuck on the ladders. What you can do is get a Warden close to the machine using arrows, and just in case it does detect you, you might want to back up in a block area. Right, hopefully you end up in the machine. Yep, he's in the machine. So one in that machine will be trapped there forever or until you kill it. But another good thing is maybe having an emergency escape out of here in case you don't have enough stuff to kill a Warden. If you want to improve your archery, you can build an obstacle course like this with a minecart that has a detector rail over a command block that says kill at P, and then add some random traps that you go on using clocks and like switching circuitry. And if you play this game a lot, you eventually end up really good at sniping. So I got the setup with a minecart, and you gotta hit the minecart before it gets to you. And it helps improve your archery. So it works by using a dispenser that can dispense a minecart, and it can go through this timed circuitry with a bunch of different routes. And if you get killed, you lose. If you hit the minecart, you win. And doing this all the time will help you get better with archery. One of the best uses for a comparator is to use it as a redstone valve. So what that means is this signal can travel through, but if you turn this on, it cannot travel through. This can work on compare or subtract mode, so it doesn't matter which mode you have it on. But this can be used, say you want this line to trigger like a door, allow you through, but this line triggers a trap. And then you can have a secret lever which will keep the trap off. But with that lever off, it will trigger the trap and destroy, like, the player trying to get to you or something. So this is just a really good use for comparator and a repeater. It's a redstone valve. Are you still building houses like this? Well, then it's time to stop. A simple house built like this can be improved quite a bit if you change the 1 block wall to a 2 block wall. So I'm going to do some very quick detailing and experimenting to make this look much better. Because most good builders usually try to do detailing and experimentation. For example, you can use a skirting board along the wall of your house, which will help give it an area that allows it to pop. Or you could have a skirting board going over the top, like this. And you can even add a bit of paneling, like this. And this is just a very simple thing that can change a mediocre build into a pretty good build. But if you really want to, there are some ways you can add detail without the need of a 2 block wide wall. Like maybe you can add some areas like this to give it more detail. Like, experimenting is all about being really good at building. And then you could add a windowsill here. And then this looks not as good as the other one, but a bit better than the first one. Like, to become a builder, you need to actually experiment. That's the key. That's how Green and B-Libs and even Scar are really good at building, by doing stuff like that. So, I think that's all we have time for today. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like. And if you liked what you see, please subscribe to the channel. It helps me to create more content. Leave a comment on what you think about what I've done. And also, this has been 8677116. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.